You're listening to the Author Inside You podcast, a weekly podcast designed to motivate you to finish writing a book, choose a publisher, and have your work build an audience. Keep listening if you're looking to get propelled into the next chapter of your life. And now, it's the Author Inside You podcast with your host, Leah and Matt Rafferty.
Hello, and welcome to the Author Inside You podcast. I'm Matt Rafferty.
And I'm Leah Rafferty.
Joining us today is Blake Freeman, author of the children's book, Haibu, Lost in New York. Blake has been in the entertainment business for over 12 years as an actor, director, writer, and producer of film and TV. Also joining us is Tara Price, who has a background in acting and production. Tara is the voice of the character Haibu on YouTube, TV, and in an upcoming film. Welcome, Tara and Blake. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, Blake, a lot of people have the idea that they're going to write a book, but you actually wrote a book. What was your motivation?
Well, you kind of left out the biggest part is everybody that really wants to write a book just needs to write the book.
Right.
I have to say Tara actually helped me make sure that I stayed focused to get it done. Because once I say I'm going to do something, I do it up until a point where I'm like, all right, now I've got another idea. I'm going to move on to something else. So Tara is the wrangler that made all this happen. So no, that's look, we wanted to really do something that we felt would impact children, future generations on animals. And we felt that if we gave kids a high-level entertainment project, something they would expect from Disney or Pixar, and really it without it sounding like an education piece, gave them something that they really just enjoyed, and it just happened to have a great message in it. And so that's what we were trying to achieve.
Excellent. So, Tara, what was your role in getting the book out?
Well, Blake had this great idea, so once he had kind of fleshed it out a little, we started writing, and it was just a lot of development. And over time, it was really cool to see Haibu evolve and the story evolve. And we were able to touch on a lot of different issues in the book that I think kids will really enjoy. And I think parents will enjoy it as well. And so just kind of pushing Blake, keeping it going. Now that the book is done, we are on to the next phase of marketing and getting it out there.
Great. So we can get to marketing in a little bit, but let's talk about how did you write the book? What was the process? Like, did you just write every day at 5 PM, or was it all in one long weekend? Or
No, it was basically just several days, all day. I think what happened was I wrote a synopsis about what I thought Haibu should be, and I think we were kind of on the same page, Tara and I. And one other guy, John, who is also a part of the Haibu hierarchy, in that the fact that we wanted to make a sort of a female empowerment story, but we just didn't know that she spoke to animals, and so it just needed to be bigger, and it needed to feel bigger. And then we attended a gala, and we just saw that no one was really doing anything in this space that could actually just be beneficial. And so we just said, I get it, she can talk to animals, and it flowed from there. So it was over several days, but, a month and a half, it moved from one side to the other, and we kept going, this is it. Walking down the street, going to get coffee, and then it's like, I got it. We just blurt it out, and we run back home and start writing again.
And it was always back and forth, and this will change, but that means we have to go back and change this for it to make sense. And it was such a fun process, though.
We knew we were doing this for, a film and a television series. Like, we were building a franchise. We weren't just writing a book. And as far as writing it and what the process was, I think was the original question. Sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent, but I wrote screenplays, and I had never taken a screenplay class before, but we made 3 feature films, the most recent one out last year. And then same thing with a book. Neither Tara and I have ever written a book before, but we just wrote it as we felt we would want to see it in a film version, and in that world, just capture your ideas. And we don't know if that's right or wrong. All we know is that that's how we did it.
It works for you guys. That's your background.
People like it.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was a total collaboration, it sounds like, between the two of you.
There was.
Great. And did you have any downs while you were writing the book?
You mean, did we knock heads about certain
Yes.
things? Probably. Yeah, not really. I think we were just so excited, to be honest with you. I really don't think we hit any. There was no real roadblocks.
No, it was all both of us just having the same goal of trying to make something that could have a positive impact on children and help change the world in some way.
We're really lucky too. Like we have people that are part of this project that want to see it succeed. One of them is an executive at a major studio, another one at a major video game studio. Like all of these people have helped push the project from idea to book to publishing deals. We've gotten help from people that we've known through the film business, and so it's a little bit different than other people who have great projects but they're spinning their wheels just trying to get somebody to pay attention. We got lucky that we could make that happen. And by the way, if nobody wanted to look at it anyway, we would show up at their house and stick it in their face.
Well, it's just nice that you both get along so well, and it must have been a nice project to work with somebody who shares your passion.
Friends.
Yeah.
What about her name? How did you come up with Haibu?
I thought that was like the cutest name ever.
It is cute.
Sounded like kids would have fun saying Haibu.
Yeah.
So, and it's a good saying right now. People call their boyfriends or their loved ones or everybody, even children say it to their parents. Now I'm hearing, they go Haibu, or parents to the kids. And so what I'm hoping is it's a term that's being used a lot more now. And then when people think about it, they can think of Haibu and what she stands for, and then maybe remember about animal conservation and other things that we're trying to get across. So there was a lot that went into that.
Well, very cool. So when you were talking before about as you were writing it and developing it, you were thinking that it's going to be a movie and a franchise. How do you think that was different than if you were just writing one book? Like, what was it that you changed or that you were thinking differently?
We just assumed that's what we wanted to make.
Well, here's the thing. From an editing standpoint, like we had used an editor that we had hired, and once we got a publisher, they had their editor go through it, and we realized, obviously, since we had never written a book before, there are certain rules that it can only be from this character's perspective. Like you can't jump to a different scene and have it be the thoughts of someone who's not the main character. And it was things like that where I think in a movie and in a script it would make sense, but in a book it didn't. So I think that's the main difference in how
that was a challenge, by the way, for us.
Yeah.
We couldn't understand the present tense, the past tense, because we were writing it as a present tense so that you were living the moment with her, and then we figured out that that's a tougher way to write a book. But so yeah, it was a learning experience.
And what about the editing process? Did you find that difficult at all?
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't. We actually never bumped heads with either of the editors that we had. But, we started out as self-publishing through Ingram Spark, and that was our plan. And we had raised money to market the book and get the books out. And it just got much bigger really fast. And, it got passed around New York, and we started hearing from major publishers. And then Ingram came back to us and said, hey, we bought a publisher and we'd love for you guys to stay within this group. And, then it's different. And then they're doing all the, they're acting as a major publisher at that point, and we're not having to do it. So we love the group we're with, Graphic Arts. They're great. And, Ingram is the parent of that company, and they do all the sales, and they've been able to put the books in great places. And, I don't know. The editing process for us was great, but we still figure out that you still miss things, no matter how many eyeballs are on it.
So, yeah. But that's just part of looking at your art, I guess. Well,
I guess so. I tell you what, in the film business, you write something in a script, though, and you get ridiculed if there's a period out of place. But in the book business, for some reason, it misses everybody. They're not so hard on you, though. I can promise you that.
And I would think it would be the other way around. You would think
it would be
right, because nobody's reading the script besides the actors and actresses and the producers and everyone behind the scenes. Whereas the book,
well, Matt. Matt, you're assuming there's a lot of intelligence in the business of that business.
That's funny.
Well, it's a tough one, man. Trust me, I don't understand it either. We're like, when no one's really going to see this but you, and then it's a reason to gripe.
Well, the cover of the book is really cute. What about the illustrator? How did that come about?
We have two illustrators. They work together. Zoltan and Gabor. I would butcher their last names. So
you can tell that by the first names.
Yeah.
They're incredible. They're so kind. They love the project, and we basically gave them some concepts that we wanted, and they would send us stuff back, and it was almost like the first time we fell in love with what they presented us with. And they have so much experience. They are true masters of their craft. They've worked on Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft, so many other things. But yeah, it was fun. There were actually a few times when Blake or myself would have to draw something to like send over to them as an idea. Like, we want this here. And so it's really funny to see what we drew compared to what actually shows up.
Oh, I bet.
Well, her eyes.
Yeah, and they seem to make fun of me for this a lot.
Well, I think when you look at Haibu, her eyes, you feel like she's a real person. You know what I mean? It's pretty, like, there's something to those eyes. That's pretty cool that you have such great illustrators. So it sounds like the whole process has been a great process for you. Yeah, experience. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's great.
Thank you.
Everything kind of fell into place, and it just keeps going where it's supposed to.
That's great. So,
and we have a great team too, and that team they came over, and they're producers from the films we do. So Haibu is a functional company. So we're a machine that is building the brand, figuring out a way that we can work more closely with Wild Aid and in different ways that we can really make a difference in what we're doing. So it's a little different than just a book. It is a functioning company, but right now, at this moment, the book is the most important thing for us. And, it is the floor that everything else will be built on. And if they don't like the story or they don't like this book, then, this is all for nuts. But, we're super excited about it.
Tell us about Wild Aid and how you got connected with them.
So we attended their gala, and we were trying to look for a partner with us in this. And, we had looked at a few different conservation groups, and Wild Aid is one of the most, I guess, what would you say, Tara? They really, they are into it. I don't know the best word to capture, like, how hard that they work. They are 100% just into this. And to be honest with you can measure what they do more than you can measure most others,
Mm-hmm.
When people say, okay, we're doing something to save the elephants in Serengeti or whatever, wherever it might be. Wild Aid stops the buying of illegal animal products. And when they do that in a country the size of China, and it stopped ivory and they ban the ivory cells and some of these major things, you can measure really what they're doing. And they're so passionate about what they're doing. We knew that, okay, this is our partner. We want people, when they see and know Haibu and she becomes the face for animal conservation worldwide for kids, we want the kids to be able to celebrate these huge announcements that, something has been done. And Wild Aid is kind of the best one to say, hey, look, we're going to stop people from making tiny elephants by killing elephants and making tiny elephants out of their tusks. We really think that these kids are powerful enough that once they start reading the Haibu series and its multiple books and the cartoons and movies and all the other things, they can teach the parents a thing or two. So we're going to start from the ground up.
Great.
Excellent.
And so tell us about marketing. How are you marketing them?
We're doing it through ambassadors of Wild Aid, which are, they have 96 major ambassadors that have nearly 500 million followers worldwide.
Wow.
People like Yao Ming and Leo DiCaprio and some of these others. But we have a network of, the mom bloggers and people who just, we're lucky. So there are a lot of people who care about animals
Mm-hmm.
out there, and they should. We have that, not to denounce what we're doing, it is a hook, right? And so we have that hook enough that everyone loves animals. So, we really try to capitalize on that. The good thing about what we're doing is every dollar that Haibu makes, Wild Aid is a profit participation partner with us. So we are really given to the cause.
Great.
And the idea is, so we're not a nonprofit, but we are 100% supporting this conservation group. That's our biggest marketing tool is through the kind of celebrity network, the moms and just like probably most children's books try to do. But this one, we do have the help of a lot of the animal groups, which helps us.
That is great. So is there a big day with the announcement that's going to happen, or?
So, the book came out November 6th. We've already done really well with it. And we have another book releasing, which is the picture book. That doesn't come out until early fall next year. And that's for the 2 to 6 year olds, 3 to 6 year olds, somewhere around there. But our versions, this one is a chapter book. It's anywhere from 5 and 6 years old, depending on the reading age of children, all the way up to 10, 11. And then we also have done a comic series that's in the works as well with Stan Lee's POW Entertainment. Unfortunately, he passed recently, but the comic book still goes on.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. It kind of that one skews a little bit older, and it's more of the Asian countries that we're releasing that in.
Okay.
And any merchandise to go along?
Well, there will be merchandise, but it's we're laying that groundwork right now, and merchandise is still 12 months away at the earliest.
Well, this is interesting for everyone to hear also, because most people don't have, we'll say, the support or background that you have, and they wouldn't even know how long anything would start. So this is interesting to learn.
Oh yeah, so the movie won't even. If it's on schedule to start early next year, it's still 24 to 28 months before it'll even hit theaters for the first time.
Wow.
Maybe even 36. Yeah,
and that's
it's a very long process.
Even after it's written.
Even after it's written.
Yep.
I mean, this is just happening. I mean, for us, it sounds like it's happening so fast. This is just, it's fun to hear, your dream is working out, and how fun is that? That's just great.
Yeah, thank you. We also just, we don't know what we don't know until we don't know it. And
right.
we're told that. And we're like, wait a minute, we need to do this too. So we are learning every single day something else that we need to add or we need to do, and a way that we need to shape the whole marketing plan. We've got a lot of help. We have a great CMO out of San Francisco who has worked. He was a global director for a large entity there. Has worked for Lego and HBO, and he's on board. And just to have somebody like that at the helm of how to market this thing, it's really cool. It opens a lot of doors and it helps us out a lot. So we're blessed in the help that we have. So
networking paid off for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We just have a really great team all around. Danielle Crane has been working with us, doing pretty much a little bit of everything, pushing this forward with us, and that's been great. We have Marvin Wilson, who's been diving in on all the YouTube videos that we have. And
Eric Golowski doing a lot of the marketing stuff that we do, the video stuff. We have, it started small, and we've slowly just keep growing and growing. So it's very cool. It's fun.
Yes, it sounds like a lot of fun, and you can hear the passion
Guys, it's
in your
not
voice.
without its headaches.
Oh,
it's
sure.
not without its headaches, so.
Well, you're doing a lot.
Let me rephrase that. We have banged our head against the wall and said, "Where are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Where are we going to go now?"
And that's only because we wanted to do so well, and it actually has
Sure.
so much potential to do it. So we just have to remind ourselves every so often that it's fun. And it should be fun no matter what happens.
Well, thank you for saying that, because, see, this is what our program is about. We want people to not sit there and say this is never going to happen, or, boy, just like when you look at social media, life seems so perfect. Everything's so easy for other people. So by you admitting that there are some bumps in the road, thank you, because that's life, and especially if you're passionate about something. things can't go easily because like you just said, you're going to want things a certain way and someone else might say no. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, and if I can add something, and this might be for your listeners, for some advice. No, I 10 years ago, I got into the film and TV business. I completely just switched gears and said, hey, I want to do something different in my life and I want to reach for the most unattainable brass ring ever. And I lived in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was on a golf course, and I go, am I going to die on this golf course? I don't want to die here. I want to do something cool. And so I said, I'm going to be an actor, director in Hollywood. I had no idea what I was doing, but I did it. But what I did is I made some great content, but I assumed everyone else knew more than I did.
Okay.
And that's not true when it comes to creative. And it doesn't matter if these are agents that have been in the business for 40 years and 20 years or whatever they are. That doesn't matter. Now, distribution matters. That kind of doesn't change. But when somebody tells you whether or not your project's good or not, they just don't know. Most of them do not know. And so the idea was we learned to push forward, no matter what. So, if somebody tells you it's probably not going to work, the thing with Haibu is we have a lot of traction behind it. So a lot of people go, okay, yeah, this can work. Now this can work. But even in the very beginning, people were like, oh, no, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of toy opportunity here. There's not any playability. And you're listening to people, and then you go to someone else who's at another studio, and they go, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So
that's wonderful, yes.
Yeah, there's no formula to success in this business. And the best thing that I can tell people is, who cares? Play the numbers game, get it out in front of as many people as you possibly can, because no one really has the answer. And if you can have the answer, then you can make it work no matter what. So that's the way we've done it.
Excellent
we stop
advice.
Listening. Yeah. We go in and we say, don't tell us if it's great or not. You tell me what you can do with it if you like it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That sounds good.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So you're assuming that it's already great. So, that's
it's
well,
already
we
great.
love it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's great.
It. Yeah.
So, right.
Very good.
Yeah. I mean, we're not making like an indie film, we're making more commercially viable content, and we see people's reactions. We have tested it. We like it. And when I say we, Tara and I have we have the kind of the same taste when it comes to commercially viable content. We're like, okay, I think we just made something that people can relate to and they like. And then I've learned, like I said, from the film business, I don't need any of them to tell me whether or not it's good. You just tell me what you can do for us. And we've done that. And when you take a harder line like that, people go, okay, well, what am I going to miss out on?
Sure.
So it does help.
Right. So just a couple more questions and we'll wrap up. So what's the best way to purchase the book for our listeners, and how's a good way for people to get in touch with you guys?
You can find the book on Amazon right now. Just search Haibu Lost in New York and it should pop up. You can get it soft cover, hardcover, and on Kindle, I believe.
You can get the book is also anywhere books are sold. So most of the major chains are already going to have it. If your local bookstore doesn't, but you want to support that, then all of them, you just tell them they go to the Ingram site. And once they look it up, they'll find it instantly, and they'll have it within the store. So basically, Ingram says wherever books are sold, because they distribute to every book and gift store in the U.S. So
great. That's great. That's because a lot of people do like to help the local bookstore since there's so few.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do as well.
The best way to get in touch?
So I'm at facebook.com/Blake Freeman.
My Instagram is at It's Tara Dane, ITSTARADANE. Dane is my middle name. It's not my last name.
Well, Blake and Tara, thank you so much for being on the Author Inside You podcast. We really enjoyed speaking with you today.
If you received any value from this interview or any of our previous podcasts, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And until next time,
right on.
Thank you for listening to the Author Inside You podcast with your host, Leah and Matt Rafferty.